Continuing on. 1.1, we are matching the graphs. Check it out. Looking at this first equation, 2 minus 4. Those are the only guys that I'm worried about. Remember, 2 is my first number. Minus 4 is my D. That is the difference. So I'm looking for this where it starts at 2 and then minus 4 means we're subtracting. So let's look for it. Which graph starts at 2? Let's check. This graph starts at -4, so that's not it. This graph starts at 2, check mark. This graph starts at 2, okay, check mark. This graph starts at 4, that's not what I want. Okay, so now I have to ask myself, what is 2 minus 4 for my second number? If you're not sure, let's get our calculator. 2 minus 4. My next number is -2, so I want to look for -2 as my next number. Here we go. It's not this one, let's check this one. Okay, -2, check mark, I love it. This one worked. +6, that's not the one I want. So for the first equation, graph B would be right here. Let's do the next one, -4 plus 2. Looking for -4. Okay. So we don't worry about this graph no more. So we just look at these three. Which one has a -4? Boom. I didn't even have to look at anything else because I know by process of elimination, this one is A. Looking at 2 plus 4, 2 is my first number. Looking for 2, not doing that one, not doing this one. That starts at 4. Here's a 2, let me just verify. We should know 2 plus 4. 2 plus 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Double check that it is 6. Check mark. This one is C. And by elimination, we should be able to see, okay, that one's D. Not too bad. Perfect. Let's keep going. Okay. Looking at this graph, we are verifying that this is indeed the graph starting at 2, adding 4. 2 looks good. Adding 4 is +6, looks good. 6 plus 4 is 10, terrific. 10 plus 4, 14, good stuff. And we can see it right here. 2 plus 4 is 6, 6 plus 4 is 10, and 10 plus 4 is 14. Looks good to me. We need to find the domain of this sequence. Domain, you should know, hopefully, is Dr. XY. It's asking for domain, so we're talking about the X. So what are the X numbers of each of these points? Looking at this point, X-axis are these numbers, so I only want to see these numbers. Let's check. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's my domain, looks good to me. Identify the common difference. This is the common difference. +4. D equals 4. Draw a line to show that this is a linear model. I'm gonna erase all this, ladies and gentlemen. Drawing a nice beautiful line, boom, something like this with some arrows. It wants us to write the equation. We'll do that next. Describe the domain of this line, something like this that we just did. Domain is X. Whenever you see domain with 2 arrows, it will be all real numbers. Great. Now for question number 5, this is where it's going to explain. Now, a lot of us won't read this because we just don't want to read it. We want to be able to understand it a little bit better. So, let's do our own. Sorry. Okay. Mr. Ramirez's exam. Using a different set of numbers. I love LeBron James, so I'm going to put 2 and 3. So 2 plus 3, parentheses, n minus 1. Couple of steps. When I look at this equation, this arithmetic sequence, I have a set of parentheses that I need to get rid of. First off, I do want to show a border because I'm only working on this side for right now. Okay, I'm going to circle this positive 3 because that positive 3 will multiply into what's the parentheses. 3 times n, multiplication, 3 times a negative 1. This is a negative 1. Negative, okay? Now we multiply. 3 times n. We don't know what n is, but it is an imaginary 1. So 3 times 1, double check with my calculator. 3. So I will write 3 times n is 3n. They got married. They just multiplied. They tied the knot. They're stuck together forever and ever. We did the first one. 3 times a negative 1. Calculator. 3 times negative 1. Negative 3. This guy wasn't invited to the party. I bring him down. 2. This is a positive 3, so I just put plus. Now, our job next is to be able to see that out of these 3 numbers, the person that's different is 3. Ask yourself real quick, why is it different? You should have thought, well, I mean, the other 2 numbers don't have that n. You're correct. You know that for sure, since this has an n, that makes it different. I'm going to bring him down. He's going to start my new sentence of function. Linear function 3n. And now we have business to worry about with the 2 and the negative 3. So, what do we do with this 2 and this negative 3? You must add them. 2 plus negative 3. Calculator. 2 plus negative 3. It's negative 1. That gives me a negative 1. That's my answer. And that's it. That's what we want you to be able to do today. So what do? We multiply. And then we add like terms. Okay? A lot of interesting things. We do want you to make the connection. We want you to be able to see that the common difference and the slope are exactly the same thing. But now we're just dealing with this. The 3 is, sorry. The 3 is slope. Cool. Terrific. Next video.